for the news trade, guys, for CPI, NFP. CPI is my favorite one to trade like this, but CPI, NFP, PPI, those three, and PPI is not as strong, but CPI and NFP, they generally tend to move like the same way. So I use the 15-minute. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick little view of what it does, and then I'll show you. Do like an overview and then some things I thought I saw. So it's gonna give us a big candle, right? And when we get the candle, normally it's gonna have a couple wicks on it. Each side, they're usually big wicks because it's a big aggressive move. And it's just a range that we could trade off of. And I like to trade ranges as much as possible because it gives me like a definite area with definite TPs and definite things to do. Yeah, I got it recording, bro. Yeah. So the ranges give me like a definite area to trade off of, right? And for news, what I noticed is that price likes to hunt the news high and lows, and not always. And there's like a couple things that you could kind of determine when it's going to do this and when it's not going to do this. I believe it's just kind of what I saw recently. But generally, what we'll do is we'll have our big news wick right at 8:30, our big news candle. I mean at 8:30, and then price is going to come back up. It'll sit here for a little bit. After it sits here for a little bit, it's going to take one end of the range, right? It's going to soup one end of the range, and it's going to come back in, and it's going to continue up, and it likes to take out the other side of the range, right? So the low gets taken and the high gets taken. So you can use those areas as definite place to go, but you got to look at other things too, like the market structure. I've been noticing that ES and NQ, if they diverge hard on it, it often means it won't do that, because it's either going to take one side of the range, the other, or it's going to sit here and it's going to take one side of the range, and then it's going to continue down lower, right? So, and keep going, or higher, depending which way the candle's going. It doesn't have to be lower. So I got the dates here so we can go look at them real quick. You might have to go to bar replay at some point, but it's okay. And the last NFP, and I'll show you guys this. It was I was so focused on trading it from one side of the range to the other that I didn't even see it. And actually, with the last NFP, these candles had a SMT with ES, right? And we already had like another range that we were trading right here also. So this one was more of the break and continue, and I think this was a good one. I think, if I remember correctly, I believe Dick got this one right off the open, and you guys were able to take it up pretty high, and we were waiting for it to come back down, and then after it came up, it just kind of chopped for a while, so we never really got it to come back down. And it might have been a similar situation in November too. So I just noticed to pay attention to this candle, right, the news candle, and where it's positioned, and it seemed to me that if it's kind of creating its own range recently, that it's a lot higher probability to trade from one side to the other. And if there's not a divergence or like a SMT with ES, man, it's really hot in here. If it's not diverging or a SMT with ES, like, look, let me see. There you go. There's this one right here. Oops. That was on ES. Here, hold on. There you go. There's NQ. So there's that SMT right there, right? And we had more than one SMT, right? Divergence, this one, this one, this one. Here's the range that it was kind of already trading in, right? So, and even when we woke up that morning, I remember looking at it, I was like, man, I wonder if it's going to play out. And it didn't really quite play out. Yeah. So that was it for that one. Let's go November real fast. Dude, it's really hot in my house right now. It's like hot. And November was weird, I feel like. We all looked at it and we had thought that it... Thanks, dog. It was a really weird news day, but... Here is November's NFP candle. And it was really like... not great, but you can see right here it took one side and then the other. And there's that SMT again, right? So you could kind of gauge, look, you can see right there. You could gauge where it's gonna go based off of that, right? Of what it's doing. So that helps you have an idea maybe of what's gonna happen. With it. So, and you guys could use whatever entry pattern you want, right? For it to happen. And you can see before, whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys want to do to go into it, whatever entry pattern you use. Like I use ICT, so I use ICT entry patterns. And, oh yeah, we're gonna have to go to bar replay. There you go. My brain's working super slow right now. So this one was, I think, all right. So look, put it at 5 so it doesn't go quite as quick. So right there is where it took it, right? We ended up taking it down, sweeping it, going up. Here was the entry pattern that I would have taken, and you could take it to the other side. Oh yeah, for sure, I'll show you. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. Right, so that took it. One side of the news low right here, and you can even see right before it created another equal low, it stopped, and then right before market open, we ended up shooting down and sweeping and going up. And I just use any, personally, I just use, dude, I am leaking right now because it's so hot in here. I just use my ICT techniques, right? So the last CPI, I actually entered it off of the soup because I was confident that it was gonna go. So that was how I entered. But normally it would be this one right here, right? Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. So it makes a breaker, and you could enter off the breaker, the FVG, that's in the middle right here and take it to the other end. And it's just that divergences is what I started paying attention to see what it was going to do, right? So I'm just adding in like divergences now into it to get an idea of which way that price may be continue to go. But that's it. I just use like basic 2022 entry styles. Yeah, for sure. For sure, sure. Okay, hold on, let me get a paper towel. I had to build these doors on a crawl space gas meter box yesterday, and it kind of kicked my butt. Okay, October 4th, next one. Oh, dude, we went through that too, Sandy. I think we all go through that at a time, at some period, really. Um, yeah, we took a couple weeks off, Pancakes and I, and we came back, and it was so far it's been amazing for us. Yeah, just completely away. Yeah. Yeah, it's constantly changing, so things that we were using at one point may not work exactly the same. It goes through different cycles, and sizing down is good. Uh, I think most of my issue is like tilting and revenging. So, but even the last few weeks, it felt like I didn't even know how to trade really. But the last few weeks of the year weren't like the easiest weeks of the year either. They were kind of tough. Okay. I think October NFP, I probably would have been thrown off with it. But, um, yeah, I would have been totally thrown off with this. But here's another SMT so you guys could see. So it's just the divergences in the news. What's going to happen? I trade this morning wasn't bad, but it looked falling. You need to get out, reset your thought. Yeah. Here's another SMT right inside, right? So when they're doing the same things, I usually, I would count on it continuing to do the same things. I bet there's another one on the higher time frame over here too. um, yeah, for it to continue doing the same things. So like for example, if they both took this low together, maybe it would continue coming down first, right, or something like that. I don't really trade London a whole lot anymore. Um, I just stick. Oh, Mark. Yeah. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I wrote everything down so I could go to it. Let's do actually. Yeah, so here's uh, this one, kind of the same way, right? And the SMT on this one right here to kind of signal the shorts that it may work out is this guy right here. So just look for a divergence in the candle to kind of confirm the move with what's going on. And for this, add that to what you guys are doing, right? Here's the high and low of the NFP candle. Here's the high and low of the NFP candle. And I also kind of thought that, like, I tend to like the NFP candles, and I don't know 100% if this is it, but when the wicks, it's got big wicks, the wicks tend to be equal size of the bodies. From what I thought I saw, is that it usually tends to trade one side of the range to the other a little bit more. And I could be a little bit wrong with that, but that was something that I had tended to notice over the last few that we've done. So here's that, right? So we took the high, we kind of accumulated over the high for a little bit. We have that divergence right here with ES, right? And NQ made the lower high, ES made a higher high. So it kind of starts confirming that, like, our trade might work out. And this is right after open. So I usually won't take this trade. Yeah, the wick fills. Yeah. I won't take this trade until after market open myself. So the fact that it happened right at open, right, we went up a little bit more and then immediately dropped back into the range was great. There's a little FEG right here, a little teeny tiny guy. You can take it off of. That would also work for me because I like using the first FEG of the sessions. If you guys go mark the first 1 minute FEG of the sessions and just look how price reacts around them, it's like a pretty good level to have, and you can extend that level out through your entire week. So there's that first FEG right there that we hit, and then we just dump, and let's see if we take the rest of it. Yeah, there. Took the rest of the low, and then once it takes the low, the trade is over. What I also noticed too is that a lot of times one of the assets is going to take the low, and not all, but a few of the trades I've taken. One of them is going to take the low, right, and then they'll have a retrace a little bit, and then they'll continue. And that one just went, but oftentimes ES will take a low or a high, we'll have a big retrace, and then we'll continue up, and the other one will take it. So if one of them takes the high, like if you want to continue to leave a runner or something, if one takes the high or low, I would just close it and anticipate some type of decent move, right? I mean, this was 50-point retracement right here, right? But anticipate one of them, they're going to retrace a little bit before they continue down for the other one to take it, right? What was it, September? Okay. August. Second. Yep. 10:30 and see. You guys ever wake up with a song stuck in your head and you don't know why that song is stuck in your head? That is me right now. This one was a big divergence. Baby Shark. Yeah, but I know why you would have that song stuck in your head. Okay, so this one's a little bit different, but still the same, like, idea of what we were just talking about. 287.75, 288. Close. This one didn't actually fully take it. Oh, dude, that's gonna be stuck in my head. But same basic idea. Go to the 1 minute. So another divergence, which I had learned between these, like if you guys use SMTs, one asset creating equal highs and another one failing to create equal highs is still a divergence, right? So it can take it or it can create equal highs. And then this one kind of does the same thing, right? Oh, one more thing. You guys, if you trade the ranges, because oftentimes they're pretty big ranges, I try to hold for the whole range, but it's the same thing as we had gone over the last time in the news trading, or like the lunch session trade. The lunch range trade is another one that we do. you guys could do the first TP at 50%, right? For TP1. And that's still, that's 100, that's over 100 points. Well, the ranges, you're probably not going to get into over here, depending how you're going to trade it or whatever. But yeah, it's usually pretty large ranges. So, take profits at 50% or take profits around 50%. At like a lower high or FEG or whatever it is, and make sure you lock something in, because it doesn't always work out 100% of the time. But that way you guys have some profits protected on it. Okay, July. Dude, it's blasting, right?
Yeah.
Our heater is just blasting. I have no idea why. Okay, this one. So this one, there's the SMT with CPI. And this is how it was where the last one where Dick got the longs, and it was, thank you, Duty. Yeah, I'm gonna close the vent. Hold on, guys. Okay, so this one has the SMT with, or the divergence with the CPI candle itself, right? There's not a divergence after, a divergence on it. It creates that one itself. So right here, after it comes down, it only sits right about 50%, right? We never come down and take that full end. And for this one in July, let's see what it does after it takes the high. But it might be one of the ones where it's just gonna continue up, right? But you could kind of gauge your move, your trades, the moves, the way price is going to move based off of that too. So this one created the SMT here with the news candle, and then it goes. Right, so we got kind of continued motion upwards right there into the next days, right? No one ever took the lows. ES did have like a crazy swing down, but it still didn't take that news low. So those are ways you guys can kind of add. To anyone who was doing it before, just pay attention to the divergences that it's doing. Yeah, that's why, yeah. And it's a little bit more clear like that, because I still get super laser focused on trading one into the other. I'm not the strongest trend trader. I'm trying to take notes on how to be better at it. I'm better at like reversals and stuff like that. Yeah, especially when the trend is up. Yeah. So that was the good key here, and then the last one that we had, it was the same thing. So that's it. Go on the 15-minute time frame, mark your guys' highs and lows, see if there's a divergence that's going in with the news candle, or if it happens after the news candle or inside of the news candle, and you guys will usually be able to get a good idea. Yeah, that's what gets us in trouble. I'm always trying to catch the reversals, man. Yeah. I love reversals, though. But, yeah. And then that'll help you guys kind of gauge what's going on. I mean, this was clearly like a pretty bullish day, right, in general already. There was no divergence at the highs, right? Prior, we took these highs already, the same highs, so there's no confirmation to want to go shorts. But here at the lows with CPI, there was that kind of added confirmation to go long from it, right? So that'll help. What's the next one? June. And June 7th. No, wait. Yes. So look, you can see June 7th. there's no divergence at the highs after this, right? So maybe there's not as much reason for it to continue downwards, but you can see there's a divergence at the lows right here, right? ES took the low, NQ failed to take the low, and then we came up. So let's see. And this is something that I just saw that, you know, it repeats, right? It repeats. I think I only missed that last NFP trade in the last like little bit that we had last month, or maybe like a couple throughout the last 6 months between CPI and NFP, because it just repeats the same thing over and over and over. So if you find something that repeats a lot of times, you guys have a better probability of trading it if you continue to trade it in the same ways. And this is something that I found that repeats really well. So ES took this low, NQ didn't take the low, divergence on the candle, so the move happens, you know, after kind of confirming longs from here, going up. Let's see if it goes up all the way. Yep, and we went up all the way. And this is one of the ones where we took that high on ES first. So ES cleared the entire range before NQ. And I actually remember this day a lot. And ES took it, right? NQ did not take it. NQ hit the rejection block, this wick, right? Hit 50% and came down. So you can see that it's kind of lined up with that. That was our retracement right there that we came down from. And there's also a SMT down here that kind of signals when the longs are going to come into play. So here's the divergence signaling the retracement, and then here's the divergence signaling the continuation up, right? And then NQ went up to continue the move afterwards. So this is that one I was telling you guys where like one of the assets is going to take the higher low, the other's not, and it's going to have a big retrace. And that was a big retrace, right? 905 down to 804. It's 100-point retracement. So just don't get stuck in tunnel vision like I do from time to time and expect it to go all the way up, because you can get 2 trades off of this. Or if you did manage to catch this down here and take it up, let's see what it looks like when it happened. You can have a good trade either way. This would have been my entry. I wouldn't have got it down here. I would have got it down here after we took these areas out and retraced into these imbalances right here, these FVGs. This is probably where I would have taken it. And in fact, Pancakes and I did take this one, and we ended up getting clapped on this retracement because we held, expecting it for it to go all the way up. And then we ended up getting the shorts at the end of the day. No, you know what? I remember getting in. Where did I get in at? We got in on one of these. So because it was there already, it was up here, and we got this big move. I was like, oh, it's gonna go. And this is one of the ones that where I was like, man, okay, well, every time one of them takes the news high and the other doesn't, I'll be trimming. And then we might have trailed a little bit, and then this came down and it knocked us out, or we had a break even stop or something. And then we ended up getting a little move here, and then I remember catching the shorts afterwards. I think I put a video of the shorts too up on my X page. Okay. June, May 3rd. This one looks like it continued. Dude, this was a strong move. Okay, so let's see what this one did real fast. That last news release was a really strong move too. So here's the divergence that's prior, right, to CPI or to NFP. This guy, which was probably be the signal for longs right there on it. Right, one took it. Oh, it looks like this one might have taken it too, actually. Let me just check this. 304. 304. Okay, so equal low. So there's the divergence there still. One's equal, one took it. So equal, remember I was saying that's still a divergence if you create equal lows. So that would have been more like the signaling for the high right there. It looks like the CPI news took the previous one as well too, which was the other divergence signaling the long. So 530.75, 530, oh no, there's equal. So, and then there's just that big aggressive candle, right? Big aggressive goes, continues, and then it looks like it's probably going to just keep going up. Yeah. Oh yeah, ES took that 50% right there. So pay attention. So basically pay attention to the other asset also. You guys know how we watch ES all the time for everything? Pay attention to what the other asset is doing when you guys are trading. Because those levels are very important to what the other one's going to do as well. Oh, it's directional. So when it has little wicks and it's just big like that, it tends to be super directional. I thought that was the last one. That's what I was looking at. Bigger bodies and smaller wicks, but I might be wrong with that. But it just seems like it's more directional when it's like that. Like when it looks like it has bigger wicks, yeah. Well, the divergence was more the new thing to pay attention to. But when it has smaller wicks, I kind of notice it tends to also be continued with it. But I might be wrong with that, but that was what I realized. Some of the better trades that I take, it seems like there's bigger wicks. The wicks tend to be closer size to the body, yeah, of it, and you get good range trades off of it. But yeah, CPI and NFP are the best for trading the one side of the range to the other. Or continuation, whatever it is. We'll look at one more. And then, right. NQ just barely took this low, but it still took it. So there's the divergence again off the candle to kind of see what it was going to do. This one you kind of might have had an idea that it was going to try to rebalance some of this anyways too, in conjunction with the rest of it. But yeah, again, the wicks, pay attention to the wicks on it. I've been trying to use the wicks more and more and more in the trading to pay attention to everything. Let's see. Later, bro. Have a good day, man. And that is it. I can look over CPI ones if you guys want to go, but it's literally, it's the same thing for CPI. CPI is the one I really enjoy trading the most, because it really tends to do those things. Make sure to try it. Yeah. But the December, I feel like December was weird. Oh, here's the one. Dick, you still on? Yeah, this is the one you took, bro. It was the CPI trade where it just ripped afterwards. Boom. 2. But yeah, again, divergence with the candle, right? Right there. NQ didn't take it. ES did. After I looked at it, I was like, oh man, why didn't I see that? And then it just ripped, because I think Diamond Hands, we were trying to catch those shorts as soon as the high got taken, and it just never got taken, right? Or it never came back down afterwards. It kind of just took off and ripped. Because like I think the previous, I forget how many before this on CPI specifically, had done the full range on it. And this one just didn't. Throws us for a loop right when you get comfortable with one thing. Range. All right, let's see what this guy does. Oh, and they're usually long trades. Yeah, ES took that. Got to 50%, keep going, and then we had the dip. So if you guys see it and it looks like it's gonna play out, don't be afraid to hold it or take profit or whatever. But we usually end up holding through these pretty long. But I enjoy holding for them. And if it looks like you're sure that it's gonna go, right, when your trade is gonna work, yeah, we'll hold it for hours sometimes. This one specifically, I remember holding it for quite a while. I'm just gonna mark the news high on this. So, and this one we actually caught the shorts on live. Dick got the shorts, and then we ended up getting the longs afterwards as well to it. So, and you can, if you take pre-market trades too, you guys can, and this would have been the low on it, but if you guys take pre-market trades, you can use these as the draw also, right? So if it's pre-market and you're here, you can trade through that low or through the high in anticipation of a reversal after. And this was actually my entry right here on this FVG on this trade too. And it kind of chopped around a bit, and then it went. Yeah, that inversion right there. Those confirm too a lot of times the move, so you can gauge that that's going to happen with it. As soon as it gets inverted, it kind of tells you the direction it's going to go, right? Should have put it on 10. Yeah. Oh yeah, the imbalance. Yeah, to kind of to gauge the direction. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically the soup, right? Two. Here's the low. Yeah. Yeah, they're strong. Whenever these imbalances get corrected afterwards, especially after taking a uh, key level, yeah, and it engulfs it like this, it's usually a good indication that it's gonna continue in that direction, right? Because if it's gonna continue short, it just wants to fill these, right? Rebalance it and then continue down. But if you're inverting it and you're getting good closes above, especially in these balanced price ranges, like those are usually a good indication it's gonna go up. This one was a painful hold, but we held it. You could see it was like 959. It didn't clear it till like 2 hours, right? Yeah, pain. Yeah, but this was wood that we ended up taking as well, and it worked. And one of the chop, yeah. We never really went into drawdown, which was great, but still. Um, you can take the soups if you guys are confident in it, right? And there's usually going to be some key level to the left that it hits. And you guys can do that as well if you start getting better at these trades. Bro, there were some fires in Anaheim last night, you know? It's super, it looks like there's like a sepia filter over the sky right now where we're at. It's all yellow. Like a Western movie. Oh, Matt, how's Pedro? Can you guys smell it? Yeah, there's no water. There's no water. They cut our. Oh, are you guys? Oh, dang. Yeah, they said there's no water. The mayor cut 17 million. Uh, it's not like we don't have a whole ocean that the helicopters could pull from if they needed to. Yeah, it's pretty bad, dude. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw the take it from Matt's pool. If you guys saw the video of the planes flying over, they're just gone. It's just gone. Yeah, Palisades, it's gone. Gone, gone. Yeah, tip the guy who takes the bags. And if there's one guy collecting all the tips, give a tip to one of the other guys instead. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm serious too, bro. Tip the helper. Or risk not getting your bags. Yeah. Okay, October 24th. What was the next one or after that? Oh yeah, September 11th. So yeah, you guys seriously go. I'll send you guys the dates of all these, and I would just go because I once I noticed this, and I'm sure like ICT maybe mentioned it somewhere in some way in here, but it took like however whatever it took for me to finally notice these things myself. And once I did, I just looked up all the news dates and I started going through them and seeing how often these things repeated, and then I was able to gauge like a good idea what the news was. So the news trades became one of my most consistent trades. Not trading the news specifically, but trading the levels that news creates afterwards. And I just went through it and just started going over all the previous dates. And you guys can. Oh, I used to look on Google for the past dates, but just ask Grok or ChatGPT for the previous news release dates, and it's going to it'll just give you a list of them. But I'll send them to you guys if you guys want to go look through it yourself, so you can kind of prepare and what to look for, and just look for the divergences, look for the range it creates, pay attention to like the candle, what it's doing. And then that way you guys could kind of gauge like the setup off of it. But it's a good setup and it repeats often, over and over and over again. No, Drizzy's in here. Oh, he might be asleep. But he's in here. Yeah, just using that SMT. Yeah, mainly that. Yeah. And then the candles too, but mainly the SMT, the divergence is the new thing. But that the candles, like you could even see right here, this one, it's mainly these wicks equal or are more than the body on this one on NQ. Yeah, I recorded it. I traded after New York Open. Yeah. I don't trade it before. Yeah. Yeah, 15-minute candle. Yeah. Yeah, use the 15-minute. It gives you like a good idea of that news range. Because you might, like, if you use a 5-minute or another time frame, you might not get that same aggressive range all the time. So sometimes you will, but a lot of times you won't. It'll cut the range a little bit shorter. Oh no, the 8:30 or 5:30 for Pacific time. And then yeah, so this would have been my entry right here. Oh, I'll tell you guys one other thing too. Um, this would have been my entry right here. After we came back into this range, you could have taken it aggressively right here on this one before it got back in the range. Maybe I would have, just because I'm trading this news trade a lot. But so this could have been your entry. right? But once it came back into the range, this would have been your entry as well. And aside from it just being the entry because it came back into the range right here, there's multiple reasons to take this watch on this, and this one too. There's probably multiple reasons, but right here specifically, we came back into premium, right? It's probably right at OTE as well. Yeah, look, right at OTE. 50% of this FVG lines up with OTE almost exactly, and this is the first 1 minute FVG of the day. Those first 1 minute FVGs are really really strong actually. But yeah, if you wait for it to come back into range fully, because price will bounce off the highs and lows of the ranges and then continue, right? So if you have price, if you're taking it right here, there's still a chance that this, is gonna keep going up because it uses those highs and lows as support also after it breaks them. So if it's gonna be a continuation, same with the lunch range trade, boom, balances and then goes. So this one is more confirmed in the range. Yo. Yeah. Oh yeah, right here. The one that broke it, right? Yeah. Yep. And we tap into it right there as well. Yeah, those inversions are good too. That's the one, right? Right there? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Once it, and you could see that's the FVG. I think Chavez talks about it a lot. Turtle Soup. Those FVGs that are created at the highs, once they get broken in through like that, boom. So they're good confirmations of movement.